2019. Good evening and welcome to Electronic Game Information and our continuing coverage leading up to the Game Developers Conference 2019 in beautiful downtown San Francisco, California. Our first big story of the evening is that we have received some great artwork from our viewers tonight. I'd like to share some of them with you. Here is a piece of artwork that we received through our email, electronicgameinformation@gmail.com. This is a picture of me. This is a drawing of me, and it says "very hot" at the top, and Whiplash, or Ginny 114. Those are two things that could be the name that were on the email that this was attached to. I am very hot. It is a lot of stage lights. There's a lot of computer equipment here. It spins up. It gets very hot in the room. You are correct. You also notice a couple of nice little details. There's the fire from the heat from the computers, and then there's also a hat. The hat right here. It says it is not an offensive hat, and I thank you for saying that. And it's right here. I'm not wearing it. Next up, we have another wonderful drawing. This is from either Ouija, WEJA, or Sunbrine. Sunbrine, like the pickle liquid, brine. And if we get this camera, thank you. And that's a picture of the creature from the game that I made up with some nice effects in the background. You see these. Balloons. These are the those official Game Developers Conference balloons that we get used to seeing come up every year, just around this time of year, just like Christmas lights or Halloween jack-o'-lanterns. It's the GDC balloons, and who is that? At the bottom there, you can see that it's not too reflective, I hope, and the lights and the stage, these wonderful studio lights. That is. Me and Alan Resnick. Alan Resnick, who is standing by on the chat right now, hopefully taking your calls and your messages. There, Alan, do you see this wonderful drawing? Can you? Having a little bit of trouble hearing Alan. He's in the chat. I hope you can see the drawing. He's giving it a love sign. He loves the drawing. Sunbrine. He absolutely loves the drawing. You even got his hat from yesterday.
Hey, Robby, I love it.
You love the drawing.
Yeah, it's so cool. Can you? Oh,
we got.
That's me.
These are printouts from the email.
That's so cool.
So we can print out as many of these as we want. I'll give one to you. I've got one for myself.
All right, print me two. I have a folder where I keep stuff like that.
You keep stuff like this in a folder?
Yeah, in my house.
You got to make sure you got to keep it. You got to protect it. I mean, this is beautiful artwork. People are so excited for the show. They're so excited. The Game Developers Conference is coming up next week, and people are just are so happy. It's a wonderful time. We have another drawing right here. This is a good one. Oh, you see a little. You know what that means. And that is Blue Leader. Blue Leader is a character that was in some comic strips that were really bad that I made in the early 2000s. And here he is saying, "Have you mean the Chaos Emeralds?" Referring to the Chaos Emeralds from Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I've now, thanks to the Sega Genesis Classics collection on the Nintendo Switch, I have beaten both of those while acquiring the Chaos Emeralds, and I will reiterate it like I did that one time that collecting the Chaos Emeralds makes the game unplayable. Here's a great one, photorealistic drawing of me. That's the name of the show, Electronic Game Information. There's the green Crocs that I love to wear, the slippers, the comfortable slippers. I wear them around the house. I wear them in the yard. They are some of my favorite shoes. Alan, do you see the Crocs here?
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I actually can't see them.
Are people
because they're where'd they go?
They got keyed out by the color key.
Yeah.
With the computers.
Yeah, but it looked good. Hey.
Yes,
Robby. Some fan art just came in through the wire.
What? Well, you're on the. How is that coming through? I mean, are you near a printer? Wow, look at that. You got that?
That came in through the. It came in through the wire on the chat.
Well, how do you, there's not even a printer where you are.
It's just you know it just shows up because I'm in the chat. And when people want us to
it's an incredible space to be in. I mean, you're really pioneering here. I wanted to share one last. Oh, well, you got another one.
Another one came through.
That's wow. People are they're sending them a little bit late. That's great. We love to get the artwork. electronicgameinformation@gmail.com. We love to see the artwork. If the show inspires you, you send it in. We'll make sure it gets the recognition it deserves. We got one last one. This is a friend of the show, Moop. Now this is a little printed out, a little reflective. Get to kind of focus in on that. This is a frightening picture. It is the creature from the game that I made up. This is, of course, the creature that is in Jasper's basement that Jasper tortured and made insane. Could have been sort of a woodland elemental that was had its own quiet life, but then Jasper came along and made him go insane, and now he screams in the basement of Jasper's house, trying to drive him insane. And Spawn and Shadowhawk now have to clean up that mess. This is from Moop Drea at this friend of the show. Wonderful, thankful for every piece of art that came in through the wire, and we will be getting back to art once again soon, I'm sure. Moving on, it has been over 2 months. And I still cannot get over how much I paid for Octopath Traveler versus how much I could have paid for Octopath Traveler. Now, during the holidays, my wonderful wife, Katie, decided to gift me some eShop credit, and that inspired me to also treat myself to some eShop credit when it went on sale in a number of digital shops, your Newegg, GameStop, Amazon, digital shops. Anyway, I bought myself some eShop credit, and I racked in a reasonable, not insane amount of eShop credit to keep in my eShop wallet. So the holiday eShop sales came, and there were some decent deals on games. And let me be very clear: we're all well aware of the so-called Nintendo tax or Switch Premium on the show here on EGI. We are aware of the Switch tax, but it is true. I could have gotten the Messenger for less than $16 on Steam or something like that. But let's be honest, the PC. My PC, the Predator, you see it right there. That's the Predator. That is a powerful gaming PC, and it's for Wolfenstein 2 and Crysis 3 and Lord of the Rings: Shadow of War. The Predator, the Predator is not for the Messenger. Okay, you don't buy you don't bring home the Predator to play frickin' Owlboy. All right, which I also bought using my eShop credit. And needless to say, I bought some games, which I'm all pleased to report were all worth it, Nintendo tax included. Can we actually bring the Predator back up? That is a fantastic gaming laptop. Alan, do you see that? You see the Predator?
Yeah, what the hell is that?
That is a gaming laptop I bought for myself so I could play Crysis 3 when we're in a hotel.
And it's called the... Wait.
It's called the Predator.
But
it's got 6 gigs of video RAM, 16 gigs of onboard RAM. It's a fantastic deal. I got it refurbished.
In a laptop.
Yeah.
They have that much RAM, and they call it the Predator. Or you call it that?
What else are you going to call it? It's got the Predator written all over it.
I thought you wrote that.
I wouldn't. No, it comes like that.
Whatever.
All right. Well, there was one game that I had staked my hopes on getting on sale, and that was, of course, Octopath Traveler. But come Christmas morning, there wasn't a sale on Octopath Traveler for it. But I was feeling fine because I'd snagged plenty of other games to keep me busy. My thought was that, hey, I could probably just enjoy the games I've purchased on sale on eShop sales using my eShop credit that my wife got me and I got myself through digital stores. And by the time the holiday sales come back at the end of 2019, Octopath Traveler will probably be on sale along with Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze and Hyrule Warriors. And some of you probably are thinking, Octopath Traveler goes on sale all the time. And you're half right, because what goes on sale is the physical release of Octopath Traveler. And if you want to add a copy of Octopath Traveler to your physical game collection, you can do that. It goes on sale it goes on sale all the time. But that's not what happened to me. I didn't do that. I wanted a digital copy. And that image that you see there, that's for clarification. I have a small apartment and have been slowly cutting down my physical game collection to games I have received as birthday gifts or Christmas gifts for the last 20 years. So that means that my physical game collection is currently Super Mario 64 DS, Halo 2 Steelbook, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker for the Wii U, Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch, and Red Dead Redemption 2. Those are the games that stay. Those are the games that my kids will see on the shelf one day, and they'll say, Dad, who gave you Super Mario 64 DS? And I'll say, my mom gave it to me in 2004. Those are the games that stay. And I'll admit, there's some exception to this. My wife, Katie, did get me Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PlayStation 3 when it came out, but I cleared it with her when I sold that physical copy of GTA 5 on eBay and used the money I got to buy a digital code for GTA 5 on Steam, which I now play GTA 5 on the Predator. Now, I do have an unofficial physical game collection, but we'll get to that later in the show. The point I'm getting at is this. These days, if I'm holding out for a game to go on sale, it means that I am holding out for a digital copy. Now, no sooner had I resigned myself to not buying Octopath Traveler, my favorite game sales Twitter guru, Wario64, posted that Octopath Traveler was on sale for $49.99 on Amazon. Now, that's very exciting news. First off, that's $10 off the digital code for Octopath Traveler. Not only that, but the Amazon code would give you the full number of Nintendo Gold points as if you would just purchase it for $59.99 on the eShop itself when you redeemed the Amazon digital code. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Nintendo Gold points, 300 Gold points, that's 5% return. That's $3 returned for Octopath Traveler redeemed on the eShop for the value of $59.99, even though I purchased it for $49.99. Add that 5% to the extra 5% that I got back from using my Amazon Prime store card, and that's almost $2.50. That's another $2.50 off. In total, that's almost $6 off the $10. So Octopath Traveler for $44.99, yeah, no brainer. I got it. It felt good. And one day, just after New Year's Day, I sit down like I always do to check if I can order Dusk on the eShop, if I can pre-order it yet. And what do I see? New Year's Day sale, Octopath Traveler on the eShop for $41.99. $41.99. That's a rough way to start the year. So for those of you not paying attention, you probably think that's just a $2.50 difference. No. Because you're not taking into account the 5% back you get in gold points. So that's an additional 200 points, roughly $2 back. And I didn't actually check because I'm not crazy to see, but many times Amazon will match eShop sales for digital codes. That means there is a strong possibility that it was on sale on Amazon for $41.99. And if I had bought it on Amazon, this is hypothetical. This is totally hypothetical, but I could have bought it on Amazon, gotten the 5% back on the Amazon store card. That's roughly $2, and then I would get a gold points on the eShop for the full value when I redeemed the code, as if I paid the full price, right? Another 300 Nintendo Gold points. That's $3. So I could have bought Octopath Traveler on Amazon for $41.99 and gotten a return of an additional $5. That's $36.99. $36.99 versus $44.99. That's a difference of $7.50. That's not nothing. $7.50. I could have spent $7.50 pre-ordering Dusk when they finally put it up for pre-order on the eShop. I could have spent it on pre-ordering Dragon's Dogma when it launches on the Switch this spring. I could have bought the Breath of the Wild Season Pass. It's not nothing. Let's go to the phones. Hello, you're on the air with Electronic Game Information.
Hello, how are you?
Have you ever paid a price for a game and then only waited a couple days, you would have paid less?
Yes.
Give me what game was it?
I think the game was called it's not that well known. It's called Observer.
Observer, yes, of course.
Observer, yeah.
Yeah, if you had waited, that would have gotten put on the Xbox Game Pass. You would have paid nothing for it.
But unfortunately, I'm sort of a PC guy. So I bought it on Steam, and I didn't like it.
Well,
so I still would have paid for it, but I wouldn't have paid like $25 for it.
$25 for the Observer. God Almighty, that's half a year of Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a rough. That's a rough one for you. And you're not enjoying the game. You're not enjoying Observer. Let's get this straight. This isn't a game that you
I'm not really enjoying it. I'm not really enjoying it.
What brought you to think about? Why did you even think that you'd like Observer? How much? Okay, let's take this another direction. How much, with what you know, would you be willing to pay for Observer?
$10.
That's a high number. I was thinking $374. Easy.
Well, I still respect the people who made it.
Well, of course. I mean, it's a terribly frustrating and long process making a video game. You have to respect these people.
Exactly. Yeah. So I respect them, and I think they deserve my money, even if I don't completely enjoy it, because they deserve the respect.
All right, get yourself a spreadsheet, Mister, because let me tell you, this stuff goes out of control before you even know it.
You know what? I will take your advice. I will start a spreadsheet in order to
all right,
make myself better. Thank you for the advice.
Thank you for your call. Next caller, please. Hi, you're on the air with Electronic Game Information. We're talking about games that you may have, if you had just been a little bit more patient, you would have paid less for.
Oh yeah, I got one. I got Team Fortress 2.
Team Fortress.
Yeah,
yeah, that's a tough one.
I was real young, and I was trying to find a physical copy of Team Fortress 2, and I kind of bought the physical copy 2 weeks before it became free to play.
That is a rough one. And how much did you end up spending on that?
Account. $20. I lost the account too. So
you lost the account. So it wasn't even $20 that you could have made up with in game time.
No. I just lost money.
But lost money. So my question to you is: are you still playing Team Fortress 2? You one of those people that just keeps playing it?
Yeah.
Well, so maybe
I don't have that one hat.
Yeah. But this is one of those times that life just throws you a lesson, and you this time it's a strike, but next one you knock it out of the park, right?
Yeah.
So let me give me an example of a game that you got a great deal on. Let's bring this back up. Let's bring it back to sunshine and flowers in the fields.
Yeah, I gotta say, Absolver recently with the Humble Bundle.
Those Humble Bundles
got me fun stuff.
I'm gonna tell you a secret.
Yeah, tell me a secret.
You see the spreadsheet?
Yeah.
I don't put the money I spend on Humble Bundles on the spreadsheet. You know why?
Why?
Because it goes to charity.
Holy shit! I mean, holy moly, Goldie.
Goes to charity. Those are good charities too. All right, thank you for your call. Next up, you're on the air with Electronic Game Information. We're talking about games that you spent too much money on.
Hello. Recently I could think of is Sims 4.
Say that one more time.
Sims 4.
Sim 4. Civ 4 or Sim 4?
Sims, where you get a bunch of characters, you dress them up, you make them talk to each other.
Of course, yes, Sims. I couldn't. Little money coming through the wire here. I couldn't tell you said Sim or Civ. But here's the thing with the Sim games, and this also goes for those Civ games, is that you could spend a lot of time on either one. How much?
Right.
How much are we talking about? How much did you spend on the Sims 4?
I bought it when it was $10 because I saw someone on a show play it, and then I was like, "Oh, it's on sale!" And then as of a week ago, I keep seeing ads on Instagram. It's like it's $5.99. I'm like, why? Why did you do that?
Yeah, it
was only like 2 or 3 weeks apart.
It's like they're trying to keep us from buying things. Almost. Doesn't it feel like that sometimes?
I feel like that sometimes.
You want to know what the last game I bought for full price for myself? This doesn't count gifts.
Oh no,
that people got for me. Although I do count those gifts as full price on the spreadsheet, just to make sure everybody knows that. BioShock Infinite. That was the last game I spent full price on.
That game.
It's a great game, and I'm happy I spent the money on it. But within 8 months, it was $10.
Yeah, I bought it with a bundle with Skyrim.
Yeah, it's crazy. These things, the prices, the flux. You can't plan any. You cannot do. It is difficult to do any financial planning when it comes to game purchasing, and unfortunately, and this does. I know everyone's kind of always cautious and nervous about things like Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Now, but honestly, that's going to be the only viable way that you can feel like you got your money's worth out of.
I kind of agree. Yeah, I don't play much recent games now, but I feel like that's really the best way to get deals, or you really have to look for them and take time and effort, which also factors into other things into the spreadsheet.
All right. Well, thank you for your call. We got time for one more caller. Hello, caller. You're on the air with Electronic Game Information. We are. It's the lead up to Game Developers Conference, and we are talking about games that you paid too much for, or if you want a game that you got a great deal on, you feel good about it. That's your, I got Dark Souls 2. I was talking about Dark Souls 2 last week. Remember this? I was talking about Dark Souls 2, $6.
Yeah.
Scholar of the First Sin Edition, $6.
Interesting. Yeah, I recently, well, not recently, but I own a Pinball Arcade, which is technically free to play, but they have all these pinball tables that you can get for DLC, and I bought a lot of them. And not too long ago, they lost the license to Valley Williams tables, so classics like The Addams Family, Creature from the Black Lagoon, those, they all went away, and it's I mean, you get to keep them, but you can't buy them anymore, which kind of sucks because it's digital preservation.
It is, and that's a great point. And I've been thinking about this a lot because I've been, I have that Sega Genesis Classics collection for the Nintendo Switch, and I think to myself all the time, it would be so great to play Aladdin. So great to play Lion King and Castle of Illusion, but licensing.
Yeah,
you got to figure out ways. But here's the thing: is that I'm sort of obsessed a little bit with this licensing stuff lately because the game that I'm thinking about making has got Spawn and Shadowhawk in it. So there's got to be.
I was going to say that's going to cost a lot.
It could cost a lot, but what I feel like is if you knock on the right doors, if you show people your heart, they'll believe in you and they'll give you what you want. So thank you for your call.
Certainly.
And we'll talk again soon. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Let's check in with Alan on the chat. Alan.
Robbie, yes, I'm here.
How are you feeling? You just so you blowing your nose.
Yeah, it's a little cold in the chat. I'm stuck in the chat. I can't get out, and I am very cold. I think I have come down with a cold just from being in the cold.
It's cold in the chat.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I always assumed regular temperature.
No, it's actually extremely cold in the chat, and there's no blankets around. I'm just kind of freezing over here, and I've been in here since last Thursday.
Okay, so is it? You think it's like how those big server rooms? They always have really heavy air conditioning. You think it's that?
I can't really make out if there's a server. It could be that because there's lots of beeps and bloops around me, and those I guess maybe you got to keep it cool.
How long? Have you been sick this entire time?
I've been sick since you put me in the chat last Thursday.
All right. I just want to make sure you're not, contagious.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm in the chat. I'm not near you. I would just like to say that if you do want me to come over, hang out with you IRL and get out of the chat and get warm and maybe have a hot cocoa, that would be great for me. So anytime you want me to come in there, I'd love to spend more time with my buddy Robbie because I love you so much.
We'll have you here once you're better. It's a little Well, we're going to figure something out. We'll take care of you. No problem.
Okay.
So, Alan, you're on the chat. You're in the
Yes.
chat. So let's hear about what's going on in the chat.
All right. Ouija says, make sure Robby drinks some water. I think everyone here seems to think you're really dried out and
I lost my voice last time. So these are
Drink some water.
return viewers. That's a good sign, Alan.
Jovial Jellyfish asks,
Jovial Jellyfish.
Robby should sell the laptop, the Predator, and build your own laptop live on EGI. I think that's kind of an interesting idea.
I will never sell the Predator.
All right.
The Predator. I've gotten it's got those soft keys. I feel like I've pressed them hard enough that they are kind of like a second skin.
Mm-hmm.
When I press them when I'm playing Crisis 3 in hotels, and I will not sell the Predator.
All right.
I'm not saying I won't build. You can tell. What
Jovial Jellyfish?
Jovial Jellyfish that I will be building a PC at some point, but the Predator I will stay with the Predator until it dies.
I think that's a neat idea for you to build a PC on the EGI show. Okay. Ouija again writes in at Alan Resnick. Tell Robby that he doesn't have to feel bad that he doesn't get his money's worth, because he can just remember he's supporting the people behind those games and making more games possible.
Oh wow, I think that's a very good point. And I when I talk about, I do forget that, and I am glad that I even though I talked a lot about how I could have saved this extra $7.50 and $7. I mean, that's like a dinner.
Yeah,
that's like a night out.
Yeah.
We saw a movie the other day. It was $8. That it's almost $8. That's a movie.
Mm-hmm.
What did we see?
I would guess you saw How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay. So you said Ouija. That is it. Ouija. WEJA. That's Ouija. This is Ouija.
Ouija did that.
Ouija did what? The great drawing of you and me and your hat. And my hat.
They're looking out for you.
Great. Thank you so much. Ouija, friend of the show.
One more question. Bing Ox writes, does Robby play train simulators?
I do play some train simulators, but I have not. But there's the big one, and I think you all know what I'm talking about. And I have not played that because I do not have. I am not going to play that unless I can afford to get the whole peripheral set. I want the whole cockpit. I want the whole console in front of me. I'm not. I'll play some of those train simulators. Alan.
Yeah,
Can
Robby,
you move away from the microphone
Yes.
when you cough or sneeze? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'm waiting. Okay, thank you, Alan. Stay on in that chat.
Okay, I'll let him know you do play Train Simulator.
Huh? What?
I said I'm going to let him know that you play that train simulator.
Okay. You're feeling bad. I'm sorry you're feeling bad.
I feel fine.
You seem like you're...
I feel fine. Moving on. Next.
Okay.
Robby, wait.
Alan? All right. Moving on. Dragon's Dogma is set to release for the Nintendo Switch this spring, and although I'm definitely not going to buy it at launch because obviously I need to finish Octopath Traveler and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 before I spend any money on more Switch RPGs, I am still going to spend a lot of time thinking about it. That's something I do. I got to do it. I'll sometimes just sit down and think about what it would be like to play games like Dragon's Dogma on the Switch. Let me do a quick demonstration. Probably some frame rate or draw distance issues. So one of the things that I enjoy about the Switch version of RPGs are the Nintendo exclusive extras that the developers add in. I'm thinking of stuff like Link's armor in the Switch version of Skyrim, or the ability to play as Ganon in Diablo 3. And I'm betting that there is something being cooked up for Dragon's Dogma on the Switch. Now, it's probably going to be something easy like, Super Mario costumes or something for your avatar, or maybe Splatoon guns. I don't know. But I've got a big imagination, and I like to use it. So I'd like to pose a big what if this happened in a new segment called What If This Happened? Now, everyone knows it. I've got a Wii U. It's obvious. And I still use it a lot because I love the gamepad. Playing Xenoblade Chronicles X with a separate screen is awesome. So what if somebody at Capcom or whatever company is actually handling the Switch port of Dragon's Dogma just made a little dongle that made it so I could use my Wii U gamepad that I've invested so much time and money into, that Wii U gamepad. What if I could use that as a touchscreen for Dragon's Dogma on the Switch, the same way I could use the touch screen as a map in Xenoblade Chronicles X? And now everyone got so excited about the complete portability of the Switch versus the Wii U's sort of limited portability that they forgot that how great it was to have a separate menu map inventory screen always in your hands without having to pause the game. Now, what if you could connect the Wii U gamepad to your Switch? Maybe it doesn't even need a dongle. Maybe it just needs a firmware update. I don't know. I don't know how any of this works. That's not my job. It could be magic. Could be magic for all I know. I don't care. There's dreamers and then there's doers. I know from watching at least 10 different reviews of previous Dragon's Dogma releases that this is a game that requires a lot of time spent in menus. How cool would it be? How cool would it be to have a separate active menu in your hands on a peripheral you already own? I already own the Wii U gamepad. That would be pretty nice. Alan, what do you think? Alan,
yo, what?
Wii U gamepad, hook it up to your Switch. Use it as menus. Use it for Dragon's Dogma.
You want to hook up the Wii U gamepad to your Switch?
Yeah, separate screen. What it was intended for in the first place. What are you talking about?
People don't have. People don't have the Wii U and the Switch. They probably got rid of their Wii U, or they didn't have both. And people.
Alan, I've got the Wii U and the Switch. You've got the Wii U and the Switch.
Yeah, but I don't. I play the Switch. I don't need the Wii U. I put it away.
But if you had, what if there was just it doesn't have to be a dongle. We're not talking about a dongle anymore. We've moved on from the dongle. We're just talking about a firmware update that allows you to link the Wii U gamepad to the Switch. No, just a link.
No, it's
not. Just turn it on.
Robbie, it's not worth it for any. No company's going to spend the time and money. They got to pay developers to do that.
What do people say in the chat about this? Because I have a feeling that this could be good. This could be something we're bringing it back. We're saving the Wii U gamepad. We're getting rid of the old. The Wii U is too big. It doesn't have. It's not fast enough. But we love that gamepad.
Switch. I'm asking.
Okay.
I'm asking. I said, what do you think about the Wii U gamepad and connecting it to the Switch? Alan, if you take more questions, Robbie will ask you to consider more Dreamcast games. They don't care. They're talking about Dreamcast.
But with the Dreamcast, okay,
let's talk about why doesn't the Switch allow you to plug HDMI, play on the screen at the same time? This is KP Senate. I don't know. They're asking. No. Oh, they want to use the Switch. They want to use the Switch as a gamepad, so you have two screens, I think is what they're saying.
But that's what I'm saying, but with the Wii U gamepad.
Yeah, but no, because people don't like the Wii U as a failed thing, and it's a big clunky thing.
We're not talking about the Wii U. It's just the gamepad, Alan. You're communicating with these people. Can you please?
What do you want me to say?
What I'm suggesting is that for games like Dragon's Dogma, we'll start it with Dragon's Dogma. We'll start with and there will be a firmware update. That allows you to use the gamepad.
Wii U gamepad.
With the Switch. So your Switch is in docked mode.
Well, I spelled Switch wrong. Switch.
Your Switch is in docked mode, and you're using your gamepad for all those menus and character customization and building and inventory management.
Someone said, in quotes, pretty nice. Someone just said, my name is AJ. They're not answering.
Who's AJ?
It's KP Sentai. They just said my name is AJ. I don't know. Someone said great idea.
Okay, well that's great. See,
Mayor
people are listening.
Said, put the Wii U in the
now,
Switch.
This is a lesson that we go through again and again.
You're not wearing that hat.
I'm not wearing the hat.
Why'd you? Is this? Did you? Are you not wearing the hat because of what I said?
No, I stand by that. This is not an offensive symbol. I just have a headache, and there is a plastic ring inside. You can see the plastic ring inside there. That makes it tight on the head, on the back of the head, makes the headache worse. So I'm not.
Okay, but it's not because of what I said. I didn't make you feel. I just want to make sure that I didn't make you feel bad because I care about you, and I don't want you to feel like you have to do things.
I'm confident in the decisions that I've made in regards to the hat. I just have a headache tonight.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
The hat's here. I'm not pretending like it doesn't. It's not here.
Yeah, but you weren't wearing it, so I just thought I maybe made you feel bad. Back to you,
well,
Robby.
Let's be honest. The Wii U gamepad thing isn't going to happen. It's just fun to think about. What else is fun to think about? Alan?
Yes.
What else is fun to think about?
I like to think about what if a woman was like so big, like the size of a skyscraper, like a very big woman, and I was just regular size. I think that's like a fun thing I like to think about when I'm thinking about stuff like that.
I meant like a video game related thing.
Oh, video game. What's a fun thing to think about when you're playing video games? I like to think about what if you could play Mario. What if Mario was in like a PlayStation game, like a God of War, or Red Dead Redemption, but it's not Arthur. You're Mario.
I don't think that sounds good. Okay,
I'd like to think about.
Thank you for your time, Alan. We're gonna cut back. Have fun in the chat, or we'll come. I don't know. That was weird. Well, I'd like to share a little story with everyone. When I was a kid, I was two things. I was a video game kid and I was a comics kid. And now I talk a lot about video games on this show for obvious reasons, but not a lot about comics. But tonight I'm gonna tell this story because I do think it's relevant to what I have been saying about the using the Wii U gamepad for Dragon's Dogma on the Switch. See, back in the early 1990s, Marvel released a number of titles set in the year 2099. With reimagined superheroes like Spider-Man 2099, The Punisher 2099, Doom, that's Doctor Doom but without the Doctor 2099, Ravage 2099, which was like Shadowrun fan fiction mixed with Nomad or something. Anyway, I enjoyed these and they inspired me a great deal. And after reading the first 3 issues of each of these series, that's Ravage 2099, Spider-Man 2099, Doom 2099, The Punisher 2099, I sat down, and I'm not skilled. I've never been artistically skilled in any way, but I scribbled together an issue of X-Men 2099, a comic called X-Men 2099. And do you see where this is going? Imagine my surprise when I walk into the local comic book store a few months later, and I what do I see on the shelf? But a first issue with a blue foil cover of X-Men 2099. Now, I'm not going to try to say that I have magical powers. I mean, I knew then at a young age, I knew that the most popular comic books from Marvel at that time were X-Men comics. And so it only made sense to fold them into the secondary 2099 universe. But that wasn't the only 2099 comic book I'd written. I also wrote an 8-page short called Ghost Rider 2099. It wasn't as fleshed out because I couldn't decide if it should be a Danny Ketch Ghost Rider or a descendant of Johnny Blaze. Morbius the Vampire was in it. All I know is that only a couple of months after X-Men 2099 launched, I walked into the comic book store again, and what did I see on the shelf on the new arrivals? But silver foil, first issue of Ghost Rider 2099. And you can disagree with me if you want, but I'm staking this out. If you were to make a list of the most likely comic book characters from 1991 to 1995 to receive a 2099 reimagining X-Men, absolutely, sure. But Ghost Rider, that's a long shot. And some significant differences aside, my Ghost Rider was still a mystical spirit, and the other one was just AI in a robot costume. There you have it. Sometimes thinking about things, however ludicrous, can result in a changed reality because you demand it. Let's take some calls. You're on the air. What have you been thinking about? That have what things do you are you like? God, this should be a thing. This should be something.
Hello?
This should be something. You think about it, and you think, and you think, and you think, and you think this should be something.
What should be something?
It's you. This is you. This is you telling me what you see.
I think I'm kind of lagging behind. What are we talking about exactly? When I see where? The last thing you were
I'm not
talking
saying.
about was
Okay,
how you
I'm not saying.
predicted the
I'm
Ghost
not saying.
Rider 2099 comic.
Exactly. So we're talking about 2099 comics. I didn't think it was possible for there to be a Ghost Rider 2099. I wished it would be, and then it was.
Yeah, that was like when you said the X-Men one, I was like, okay, yeah, X-Men, that just kind of makes sense. But when you said Ghost Rider, I was like, that's a little more iffy. I don't know.
I mean, it's like what like Darkholders 2099. You know, it's just like there was this other thing. It was already a secondary universe. It was already the Midnight Suns.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So what I'm saying, what I'm trying to, let's linking these two thoughts together with the dongle or firmware update that allows you to use the Wii U gamepad on your Switch and
yeah. By the way, okay, about the like Wii U thing, I was actually thinking that when they first announced the Switch, I thought that you were going to be able to like have it and sort of use it how the Wii U was, where like you had the screen in front of you and then you had the thing up on the screen.
Yeah,
that was when I was playing Splatoon for the first time on the Switch. Like the first thing that jumped out at me was that I don't have that little map anymore that I can't like do my little quick jump on when I respawn and everything. That was like my favorite part about that. So yeah, I'm totally on board with what you're saying about that.
This is a thing that people wish. This is people want this.
Yeah,
people sure. Thought about it. You had Splatoon. I had Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I wished for the same thing. I wished that I had my map. I can fast travel from my gamepad in Xenoblade Chronicles X, but I can't do that without opening a bunch of crap in Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah, and like especially like you were saying in games like that where you have to spend a lot of time on like menus and items or potions, like especially with my first thought with the Wii U gamepad when you could do that was just like this would be great to have on every Zelda game I've ever played.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever predicted the future?
Can't say that I have. Not
just
quite
you
a
wait,
clear
because
example as you've just given us.
Because if I'm thinking it here and you're thinking it wherever you are, and we're thinking about it together, that's something. Those thoughts, that energy, that's something that pushes.
Yeah, maybe if we just both put that energy out into the universe together, somebody out there is going to create that little gamepad for us there.
They tell you to set an intention. They tell you to set an intention and to work towards that.
Exactly.
They
I'm
tell
right
you
there
that.
with you, man.
Okay, well, thank you for your call. Let's take another caller. Hi, you're on the air with Electronic Game Information.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing tonight?
Is this Robby?
This is Robby. You're on Electronic Game Information. We are talking about let's just say ridiculous dreams. Ridiculous dreams for things that should very well be available to us because we're reasonable people, because we're good people.
Other than a less frightening version of Polybius, I think we'll be okay. That's always been pretty scary.
Well, thank you for your call. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. I suppose it's... All right, so this is time for the list. we talked a little bit about earlier in the show about how I have an official game collection. That's games that I've received as gifts or for birthdays or Christmas, and this is the unofficial game collection. These are games that I have bought for myself, or I've gotten in other ways. That when I finish them, I will return them, or I will sell them on eBay to buy digital codes and eShop credit. There's here we go. We've got what do we got here? We got Call of Cthulhu for the Xbox. I've still got Call of Cthulhu for the Xbox. It doesn't run on anything that I own, but I keep it just in case I do get an Xbox one day that works at a thrift store or something. I can play Call of Cthulhu again. Dark Corners of the Earth. We got Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion on the Nintendo 3DS. I have beaten, and this is true, I have beaten Luigi's Mansion on the Nintendo 3DS, but I want to beat it again, so I keep it around. But when I beat it the second time, I will sell it on eBay. We got Codename Steam, another 3DS game. I got a lot of these 3DS games. This is Codename Steam. I don't know what kind of game this is. It was $2. We've got Unwrap. This is a fully sealed, you can see this. This is a sealed copy of Oddworld Munch's Odyssey. This is of course the third game in the Oddworld series. It was an Xbox launch title. You play as Abe. You come back to the Oddworld and you meet Munch, who has got a cute baby voice, and I've never beaten it. It's still wrapped in shrink wrap. We've got Red Steel 2. For viewers of the show, Red Steel 2 is a Wii game that I said that I would definitely recommend to anybody looking to kind of re-explore the possibilities of the Wii Motion Plus controller. Red Steel 2 is a fantastic way to do that. It has nothing to do with the first Red Steel, which is a bad game. Killzone 3 is a first-person shooter. If you have a move peripheral, you can play that. We have a phone call coming through.
Hello? Are we adding games to the list?
Yeah, wait, you can. Well, this is now. Just so you know, that I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing you, but this is video. These are games on the list that are unofficially in your game collection.
All right, games on my
Physical
list.
game collection. So these are games that you don't. If you lost them in a fire, you wouldn't be like, God damn it.
Oh, hang on. I got a whole list here. Hang on. I got my collection right here next to my desk. Okay.
You got Wonderful 101 on that list?
Oh, you know I got 101.
We got Wonderful 101 for you. I'll play this. I'll buy it again when it comes out on the Switch.
Yeah, I'll buy when Wonderful 102 comes out on the Switch. You know I'm signing up for that.
No, this is a game on the list. This is unofficially in the collection. It's I keep it under. These are box. This is in a box under the bed. This is Cold Fear. Now this game takes place on a ship. Alan, can you see that?
Yes.
Alan, this is one of those scary Resident Evil style games that came out in the early 2000s.
Get rid of it.
It takes place on a ship.
You don't need it. Hey, Robbie, guess what?
What?
Vischer says I will buy Robbie stuff for better than eBay rates.
What are you talking about?
Someone on the chat wants to buy these old games that you don't want.
I haven't beaten these yet. These stay in the box until I've beaten them. The next game, I have. Okay, so we got what do we got on the list? We got Umbrella Chronicles for the Wii on the list. Resident Evil 4. This shouldn't be on the list because this right here, Alan, you see this?
Yeah, you want to take that off the monitor? Yeah, why
it's
not?
Resident Evil 4 Wii edition. This is the definitive Resident Evil 4.
It's not on the list?
It's not on the list. I'm keeping.
You're gonna keep it. Okay.
It's not going back. It's going on the shelf. When I have kids, they're gonna say, "Who bought Resident Evil 4 Wii edition?" And I'll say I bought it for myself, and I kept it because if you play Resident Evil 4 at anything but 480p, you're fucked up. This is Nintendo Land. This is Nintendo Land for the Wii U. I've never played this game. You're on the air. With Electronic Game Information, we are going over, these are games that are unofficially in my game collection. I keep them in a box.
I can do that. I have a factory sealed copy of Resident Evil Gaiden for the Game Boy Color.
Oh my God, Resident Evil for the Game Boy Color?
Yeah, the only Game Boy Color Resident Evil.
And where do you keep it?
I keep it in a lockbox.
You keep it in a locked box?
Yes, so it doesn't get damaged.
You're planning on reselling it. You're staking a claim. You're telling me that you're hoping that this Resident Evil game for the Game Boy Color goes up in value, and one day you can sell it. You can put a down payment on something else.
For hopefully part of my.
Well, let's just agree to disagree. Thank you for your call. We got another caller on the air. This is the list. We're talking about the games in the unofficial game collection. We're finding some real gems here. This is Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. This is another great game, along with Red Steel 2, that allows great use of the Wii U Motion Plus controller. Hello, you're on the air.
I've recorded as well.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Robbie?
I'm doing good. We got just a few moments here that we can really just nail down. If you got a game that you keep in a box, what is it? What's the game that you're gonna let go of without question? You're not gonna have a problem. You're gonna just sell it. You're gonna sell it. Maybe one week you got your sweetheart. You're taking your sweetheart out, and you're like, I need that extra $12, and you're selling. What are you selling? You're selling Wii Fit, or
I'm probably selling a Resident Evil Outbreak on the PlayStation 2.
All right,
my friend
Outbreak.
gave it to me
now
one day.
Now that's a game. That's a game I would have no problem in the world getting rid of. Absolutely. Thank you for your call,
Robbie.
All right.
Abby Snow is trying to get rid
Alan?
of. Never mind. It's too late. The list is over.
This is over. All right.
Okay. Madagascar the game was not on the list.
Are you?
Someone in the chat was trying to get rid of Madagascar the game. It's a game of the.
I mean, they can do whatever they want.
They wanted it on the list.
No, that doesn't. I don't have that. The list is stuff that I have.
Got it.
You can have your own list.
Okay. Well, this is on Abby Snow's list.
You can have your own list.
I didn't.
Not you, Alan. You can't. I mean, you can, but I assume that you don't. You're kind of not. You're not detail oriented.
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, that was the list. Stay tuned. The Fear trilogy. Fear. First encounter assault recon. Fear. First encounter assault recon extraction point. First encounter assault recon Perseus mandate. First encounter assault recon 2. First encounter assault recon Project Origin. First encounter assault recon 3. The Fear trilogy. Put it on. I think it should go on the Switch. And Blood 2. That was our tonight's coverage of the electronic game information coverage of the Game Developers Conference coming up next week. Stay with us, and of course, please pay attention to the email at the bottom of the screen. This is the email that you can use if you've seen anything tonight, anything that has inspired you. You want to send us some art that we can gush on the show. We will do that, and we'll be so happy to hear from you. See you next week.
Thank you.